Today we're continuing on with our statistics unit, and we're going to focus on dot plots and frequency tables. Last year you may have done a dot plot, but it was called a line plot. Now, what's the difference? The difference is a dot plot uses a dot and a line plot uses X's to mark the number of people surveyed. So here is a start of a dot plot. Actually, it's a frequency table. So we posed this question in class, and I've come up with some mock answers here. So we tallied up how many people had each of these numbers of screens. There was no one at 0, no one at 1, and then we had 2. The frequency here was 4. There was no one had 4 screens, 3 people with 5 screens, 1 person with 6. We have 6 people with 7, 2 with 8, 5 with 9, and I put 10 plus because 10 or more, so there was 10 people. Now I left these blank, but I do not need to. I can just go ahead and fill those in as zeros. Now it tells me in the directions what I need to do. Create a dot plot. And it says be sure to include every number, even if it has 0 as frequency. So I'm going to start with 0, 1, 2, 3. And there is my 0 through 10, just as it is here. Now I can start to plot my dots, basically. So there I put nothing at 1 nor 0, but at 2 I'm going to put 2 dots. And I just go straight up. At 3 it's 4, and I try to make them as evenly as possible because I don't want my dots to be all over the place. At 4 there was none. At 5 there's 3, and I'm going to try to keep them matching up as we go across. 6 is 1. 7 is 6. 4. We had 2 for 8. We had 5. And then there's 10, which is the most, of course, the most common. There's 5, and I got to keep going. 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Okay, so this tells me a couple of things. Number one, my data is skewed left because most of it is on the right. The most common number of screens is 10, and I'll even put the plus sign in. What's another thing this tells me? It tells me that, let's see, we have more than half the class has 5 plus screens in their home. Okay, how many people were surveyed? Oh, I just have to count it up. So there's 6, 9, 10, 16, 18, 33, 43 people surveyed. Okay, now, so we created this. Now we're going to go ahead and keep analyzing the data that they've given us. So read through this. Length, number of inches, goes in chronological order. It's a dot plot. How many iguanas measure greater than 15 inches? Not including 15, greater. So what I do is I look over here, 16 is greater, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oop, wait, I think I did that wrong. Greater than 15. 16 is included. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I already said that. That's just great. What is the most common length? Well, we have 2, 14, and 16 inches. And maybe I'll put an and sign. How many measure between 14 and 18? Now it's between, so it doesn't include them. So that is 7. We read our graph to answer these questions. Okay, now here is where we are going to go ahead and take a look at using the data to create frequency tables. So the first thing I'm going to do is I am going to make sure I list these or locate from least to greatest. So what is my least number? Well, there's 70. Anything less than 70? No. So I'll put that there. Is there 85, 80, 95? Anything greater than 95? No. And here's how I do this. Because everything ends in either a 5 or a 0, I could probably count by 5s. Let me check. 70, 75, 80, 85, 90, 95. That works. And now I start to tally. How many 75s are there? 1, 2. How many 80s? Looks like 1. How many 85s? How many 90s? None. 95 is 1. So I go through and I tally, and now I can create the frequency. And that's how we do that. We can do the same thing here. We start with the least, and I look at the greatest, which is 30, and I'm going to go 15, 20, 25, 30. I'm just putting 35 in. Because I've done this several times, I knew that I'd have a blank row, or column, I should say, row and column. So let's tally. There's 1. Oop, there's 2. That's why we tally. And then 20, and then 25, and then 30, and then there's nothing there, and we go ahead and we do our frequency. Okay, so let's take a look here at this last one. This is a dot plot that represents energy efficiency, and here's our score. We have to look at the plot to answer all of these questions. A total of 18 homes were rated. How would I find that? By counting. That's false because there are 20. Exactly half the ratings were greater than 66. Let's look. Greater than 66? Well, first off, what is half of 20? It's 10. So we have to count. Is this going to equal 10? Yes, it does. It's true. The most common home rating is 66. Well, that's incorrect because it was 68. I like to put the correct answers right by to make sure I can prove it. Now it says complete these. Okay, the number of homes rated account between 58 and 64 account for exactly blank of the homes. Guess what? We're going to be working with percents. Remember, percent is percent, which is per 100. So we want our denominator to be 100. So if I look at 58 to 64, I count it up and I have 6 out of a total of 20, but I want my denominator to be 100. I would multiply by 5 to get 100, so I have to multiply my numerator, and my answer is 30 hundredths, which is 30%. The next one says the number of homes greater than 70 accounts for about how much. So we have to look at homes that are greater than 70. 70 is not included. So I look at that and I say, well, that would be 3 over 20. We want to get to 100 as our denominator. Whatever I do to my denominator, I do to my numerator. And look at that, 15%. Now this says 50% of the homes were rated a score of, so 50% is 10. What is, I have to count 10 and find out it's less than what number. So it's easy. All I have to do is go like this, 1, 2. And I have to make sure I start on this end because we're looking at less than 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So it's less than, it's not 66, but less than 68. And that is how we read our graphs.